if you're gonna need them. But if you don't need to hold anything, you don't need the chairs. If you have a firm surface you can hold, then we'll deal with that. Remember, my name is Evelyn Owala of Eval Health and Fitness, EVEAL. So please, let's get out and get started. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm here for you. So we're going to put a timer of 30 seconds as usual. Alright, so 30 seconds as usual. And then from there, we're going to start our warm-up. So I'm just setting up the timer. 30 seconds starting now. When the timer goes off, we are going to get started on our warm-up. So what are we going to do first? Our warm-up is going to be the jumping jacks, that, 2 of those, and that. Yeah, so we're going to do 15 of those. If you're unable to do the jumping with us, just take your leg like that, and up. That will count as 1 for you. So we are going to do 15 times 3 as usual. So let's go. Today is going to be a HIIT workout. There we go. Our time's up. So 1, 2, 3. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keep going, 8, high knees, 11, 12, 13, 14, and you're right. 15. One set down. We'll put the timer. So for the next 30 seconds is going to be your rest time. 30 seconds is going to be your rest time. Alright? Take your time. Drink some water. Some water. Some water. Our time's up. Let's go. Set number 2. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and you're right, that's 15. You made it. That's our set number 2 of the warm-up. So we have one more set of the warm-up. You're doing amazing, and I know you started waking up like myself, and now we are almost ready for this HIIT workout. All right, as we build up, let's see how many seconds are left. 10 more seconds left. Just walk around, don't sit down. The secret is don't sit down in the middle of a workout. Just walk around, take your time, but don't sit down. Time's up. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and you're right, 15. Well done. Well done. Your rest time starts now. I'm sure by now you're feeling all warmed up, all fired up, ready for the heat workout. Are you ready? All right. So the next workout we're going to do, I'll demonstrate shortly. We're going to do crab walk with the toe touch. A crab walk with the toe touch. So we have a few more seconds left. A few seconds left. All right. Right, time's almost up. Time's up. Time's up. There we go. So I'm going to demonstrate this workout. First, you go like you're sitting down, but then you lift yourself off the ground. So you do that, right, and that one. All right. So this and this will be one. Are we together? Have you tried? That and that will be one. We will be doing 15 times 3. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Lift yourself up. So you go 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Well done. So your rest time is gonna start now. But in the rest time, we're going to do jump squats. So you're going to go that. If you have an injury, you're going to tap. That's one. Okay. So I will stop that and start it again. So let's go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Time's up. We are going back to the crab walk with a toe tap. Right. 1. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Well done. So we go back to the jump squats starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There we go. So we've done 2 sets. We're going for our 3rd set. I'll give you like 10 seconds to sip some water, like myself. Alright. Breathe in, out, in, and out. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Well done. Now we go back to the jump squat. Are you feeling good already, like myself? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. Our time's up. So our next workout will be something like this. So you start here and jump and turn. This leg straight. This is bent, so like that. Come back here and jump. Alright, and then go back there, you know, like that. Okay, so if you can't balance, you'll get a chair, right? You just do that, and do a double squat. Alright, perfect. So that you're able to do the 2 squats. So that you're able to do a double squat and still be able to work out the inner part of the leg. So we are going to do 12 on each leg. So when you come this way and this way, that's 1. So we're going to do 12 of those. Alright. 1, 2, 3, and start. You jump, right? And you know you're still getting the flow of it. Jump. Come. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. That's 8. Are you feeling it? That's 9. That's 10. 2 more. That's 11. That's 12. Well done. Clap for yourself. You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. Rest time starts now. Walk around. Walk around. Walk around. Take some water. Yes, take some water. Right. Breathe in and out. Good. So, we're going to go for our next set. I hope you've gotten the hang of it because I'm trying to do it slowly so that you get the gist of it, right? Let's go for the next one. We'll start with the jump here, alright? 1, 2, 3, squat and jump. Take your leg out. This other leg remains straight and jump. Yeah. There we go. There we go. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. That's 8. That's 9. That's 10. 2 more. That's 11. And there we go. 12. Well done. Set number 2 down. So we have one more set to go. One more set. Your rest time starts now. Take your water. I'm sure you're feeling those legs are feeling nice. I'm so sure you're feeling the same thing I'm feeling right now. So we have this last set to go. Are you ready? Are you sweating like myself? Because I'm feeling so good this morning. I'm feeling so amazing. Are you ready for the next set? Let's go. We start with the squat and jump. Alright? Remember I said, if you have an injury, you will hold something that is more stable. Go to the side. That. And double squat. Alright, good. So that is the alternative for this workout if you're unable to balance yourself. But if you're able to, celebrate what your body can do. Let's do this. It's the new normal. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, going, 9, don't stop, guys, don't stop, I can see you, we only have 2 more to go, 10, 2 more to go, 1 more to go, and there we go. Well done, well done. You gotta clap for yourself at least. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Alright, next time. Start now. Control the breathing, breathe in. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Pop your face if you're like me, because this workout is killing me. So we have just one more workout. So we're going to do something called plank jacks and shoulder taps, which means we go to a planking position, we do a jack, meaning we're moving our legs in, apart together, alright, and as we tap our shoulder. I will go ahead and demonstrate. So you're here and here like this. So this, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do 20 times 3. So this and this, no, we're going to do 15 times 3. I saw your face. I saw your dumb face. No, we're going to do 15 times 3, right? So I'm going to stamp this side and this side is 1. Let's agree on that at least. So we're going to do 15 times 3 with the rest in the middle. So let's go 1, 2, 3, and move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well done. Well done, well done. That is set number 1. Set number 1. Our rest time starts now. So we have 30 seconds of rest. Walk around. How is your body feeling? How are you feeling today's body weight HIIT workout? Right? You don't need to be in a gym to work out. You can do this at home, only 30 minutes every day. And it's such a day on a whole new level. Your endorphins are up, mind more balanced, you know, and you feel good about life in general. At a time when everyone is feeling on the edge. So here we go. The time's up. You know, there's this feeling that comes with working out. You almost feel like when I'm done with this, I can now go and carry the whole building, and you know, it's like a superhero kind of thing, but it's a feeling. So let's go for the next set. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well done. Well done, well done. I don't know about you, but my mat, it's like it's raining there. Oh, good luck. It's like it's raining there. It's like it's raining. We have one more set to go. One more set to go. All right. One more set to go. One more set to go. So we have 5 more seconds. I hope you're enjoying this because I am. I am totally enjoying this sweat. Time's up. We are going for our last set. We are going for our last set. Are you ready? I am ready. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Well done and congratulations if you went through that HIIT workout and made it to the end. That's it from us here in Teasing Your Money. We are glad you joined us for this episode. Look forward to meet my colleague Peter in the next episode. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to Your World. Now, COVID-19 has changed literally every facet of our lives, from how children learn, how businesses operate, how we worship, how we eat and what we eat. The world of dating has also changed. Well, to find out how exactly, we're going out on a blind date, a breakfast blind date this morning. My name is Joseph Warungu. Welcome to the show. We're coming live from Cafe Delhi on Kenyatta Avenue, where they offer a mix of African and continental cuisine, great variety right here, and a star quality service. They keep adjusting their menu to ensure that they give you all the healthy options that you can ask for. And speaking of menus, here's what's on our menu today on the show. Today we look at how new normal has affected dating and relationships, including online dating. Sharks were spotted swimming under unsuspected people in South Africa. And as restaurants reopen worldwide, we look at how their operations have been affected by COVID-19. Messaging apps in China are being blamed for adding to growing strain on Chinese marriages. And this morning, we're asking you a simple question. Are you married or currently dating? How has COVID-19 affected your relationship? And if you're single, how has the pandemic season affected your search for the one? Let us know your comments, your views, your questions. We've got some experts here who will help us through this discussion. Our hashtag is New Normal. You can also reach us on our WhatsApp line as well as our telephone line. But first, let's look at the global scenario regarding COVID-19 infections around the world. This morning, let's just have one look at the global numbers. As I speak to you, 9,711,314 people have tested positive for COVID-19 around the world. Out of these, 5,247,174 people around the world have recovered from COVID-19. And sadly, 491,797 people from across the globe have so far passed on as a result of the COVID-19 disease. So that's the situation around the world. Now, in an attempt to spread awareness of the COVID-19 global pandemic, 75-year-old Congolese refugee Juba Aloa rides his bike through the Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya, broadcasting his message through a loudspeaker. After seeing videos on a friend's phone about people dying from the coronavirus in Europe, he says that his heart cried for them and decided to raise awareness at the Kakuma refugee camp. With posters and loudspeakers, he cycles and also broadcasts, making stops to help further stop the escalate of the COVID-19 pandemic. The camp is home to about over 200,000 people. That's the Kakuma refugee camp, and the dissemination of accurate information to as many people as possible is vital. Aloa has made a commitment to further spread information, saying that I will create awareness every day so that people stay safe from the coronavirus. Now, South Africa's National Sea Rescue Institute issued a safety warning to bathers and surfers. This was after numerous shark sightings on the southern coastline in recent weeks. Drone footage obtained by the institute shows a great white shark swimming among seemingly oblivious surfers in Plettenberg Bay. Burundi's new head of government, Prime Minister Alain Guillaume Bunyoni, takes his oath of office before President Evariste Ndayishimiye and dignitaries in the Parliament building after the National Assembly on Tuesday approved the nomination of the Prime Minister, a hardliner under US sanctions, for his alleged role in political repression as Prime Minister. Bunyoni, who will fill the new position of head of government created in the 2018 Constitution, was backed by an overwhelming majority in a session boycotted by the opposition. Bunyoni is currently Minister of Public Security and former head of the National Police in Burundi. Now, he's been under sanctions by the United States since 2015 for his role in violence against civilians and political repression that marked the late President Pierre Nkurunziza's disputed third-term bid for office. Now, this next story touches on the topic we discussed yesterday. That's people who are stuck abroad, especially Kenyans stuck abroad due to the COVID-19 season and because of the travel restrictions that are currently in place. Ethiopia is under fire for the same. After she flew to Lebanon in 2017 to work as a maid for a family of 8, Birtukan Mekwanint managed to call her own relatives in Ethiopia only a handful of times. Like thousands of other Ethiopians, she worked in strenuous conditions and says her hands were bruised from the hard work. When the coronavirus pandemic struck, dozens of these Ethiopian women were kicked out of by their employers and unceremoniously deposited in front of the Ethiopian consulate in Beirut. Birtukan and Alma Gezak, another woman who made it back home, tell us that for 6 months, I didn't know if it was day or night. I worked day and night. They didn't pay me a salary. I was always told that they didn't have any money. My hands were bruised from the hard work and I didn't have any money. Abie Yefuru's father says, I didn't hold my tears. My wife cried even more. She was thanking God because our daughter escaped death and came back to us. That was a big thing. Volunteers take part in the first COVID-19 vaccine trial on the African continent at the Chris Hani Baraganwath Hospital in Soweto, South Africa. The country has set out to vaccinate 2,000 people with the vaccine known as ChAdOx1 NCOV-19, developed by the Oxford Jenner Institute and already under evaluation in Britain.
I feel a little bit scared, but I want to know what's going on with this vaccine so that I can tell my friends and others what's going on in this time.
What is now going to happen is that these 8 participants form part of what is known as Group 1, which is a group where it's a small group of 50 individuals where we're trying to understand 2 important issues. The first issue is the safety of the vaccine, especially in terms of what will be common side effects, and the second issue is how well the body mounts an immune response against the vaccine. Once there's about 60% of the population that have developed immunity, we expect that effective reproductive rate to drop to under 1. It doesn't mean the virus is going to go away. But once there's 60% of the population, especially the adult population, that becomes immune, we expect that effective reproductive rate to go to under 1, which basically means the virus will still be around, it will still circulate, but its chain of transmission has been interrupted, which is important. For this particular vaccine, and in fact for any COVID-19 vaccine, this is the first study that is being done on the African continent. But in all likelihood, it will be the first of at least 3 to 4 other vaccine studies on COVID-19, different vaccines, that will be done in South Africa over the period of the next 6 months.
Okay, as you can see, this morning we're in a different location. We're out on a date, a breakfast date. And that's because we want to look at how dating and relationships look like during this COVID-19 season. So are you married? Are you in a relationship? Are you dating? How is that going? And how is it affected by the COVID-19 season? And if you're single, how has your search for the one been affected or impacted by the COVID-19 season? That's what we want to hear from you. Do send us your comments, your experiences. I'm here with a number of people who will help us navigate this. With me, right in front of me here at the Cafe Deli restaurant is Jenny Karina, who is an author. She's a life coach. She's also a relationship expert. And she'll help us and share tips with us in terms of how you navigate the challenges of a relationship during this season of the pandemic. I'm also joined across the restaurant by Edwin Kinoti and his lovely wife, Grace Morioki. They are a married couple. They also take on the role of helping people in relationships as counselors through the Mavuno Church Family Ministry. So they'll be here as well to share their experiences as a couple, but also as counselors. And then we've got 2 people, a couple who are out on a blind date. We have blind date gentleman and blind date lady. They have no idea who they are meeting, but they know that they're meeting someone. Whether that someone will turn out to be the one, we're yet to find out. So they are hidden somewhere in Nation Center, waiting to have that conversation with their blind date. We'll hear how that goes. And just to make sure that the mood is all nice and romantic, Brian Buller, saxophonist extraordinaire, is in the house to keep the mood lively and romantic. And then we'll also be speaking to the people who run this place and how they're really coping in this pandemic as a restaurant business. So Magdalene Muirore, who's the general manager here, will also be speaking to us to tell us the experience of reopening a restaurant, what precautions they've had to take place, how business is flowing, and all that sort of thing. So first of all, let me cross over to our couple somewhere at Nation Center to see how they're doing. Over to you, gentlemen. I don't know your names as yet, so let's see how this goes. Over to you, our blind couple. Take it away.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. First, how cool is this? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so cool. All these people have gone you know,
Yeah,
with cameras and everything. This is a very interesting date.
This really has to work out after the cameras.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is, yeah?
Yes, nice to meet you though. How are you?
Nice to meet you. I mean, I'm fine. The morning is good. Yeah. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the voice, the person behind that voice.
Oh.
And I think I'm already loving it.
So as the couple get to know
progress.
one another, we're going to let them see how far they'll take this relationship this morning. And then once they agree, whatever they agree on, we'll invite them here for breakfast. Hopefully it will not be a divorce so soon because we want to hear how things have gone. So guys, keep talking as I switch to my guest here. Now, Jenny, good morning.
Good morning, Joseph.
Now, that couple will be joining us for breakfast in a moment. But first of all, from your own experience of counseling couples and people in a relationship, what have been the challenges in this season of the pandemic for couples?
Well, one of the things that I would say, Joseph, is that every change has its challenges. And so the lockdown came with a couple of issues. One, you cannot go see your lover because of the lockdown, or you cannot be able to spend the kind of time that you did. Two, the closure of schools. So for young families with children at home, you know, they are just dealing not only with working from home, but also homeschooling that brings a lot of stress. Many people had to lay off their staff, and also several people were laid off in this season. And so that builds up stress factors. Shopping is really a way of unwinding, and just finding yourself at home and not being able to go shopping is another stress factor. The differences of the couples, one that is very health conscious and who is like you can't get out of the house, and the other one is the traditional sanguine who wants to mingle even regardless of the pandemic, and so stress factors are coming in there. What I have found as a real issue is that in life we all have vulnerabilities based on your upbringing, based on your personality, and based on where you are coming from. And most importantly, based on your mental health wellness. And so what has happened in this season is that the vulnerabilities have started popping up. My tolerance levels are no longer as high as they used to be. They are very low. My stress levels are really high as a result of isolation or as a result of being, you know, locked up with you, and I don't have my time. People are unable to deal with 24/7 relationships in the same space simply because it's a new normal, and that's what they are not used to having. But I want you to know there's a silver cloud in every lining.
That closeness, you would have thought that being close as a couple is a good thing, but this is too close and too much of it.
Too close, too much of it can become toxic, depending on their personalities and how they navigated their relationship before the pandemic. For example, if you're one that leaves home every day to go work outside and come just to sleep over the night, there's nowhere to go and you need to spend 24/7 at home. If there's a loss that you encounter here, loss of associations outside the marriage, loss of an environment that you are used to, and every loss comes with it the process of loss and grief. So that individual is actually going through a process of loss and grief for what they have lost.
Yes.
And that has nothing to do with the relationship. It's very much their vulnerability in the inability to manage that change.
Before you go into the silver lining that you were talking about, let me cross over to our couple in the room. Again, good morning, Edwin and Grace. Maybe as a starting point, let me start with you, Edwin. You spend a lot of time with your wife as well, supporting people through this journey. How has been your own journey in this pandemic season as a couple?
Thank you very much, Joseph. It's been quite an interesting season. As humans, we are created for relationships. And you find, just like Jennifer has mentioned, that you get to first start with nurturing a relationship that you have at home. But now, with the situation where people used to leave early in the morning, come back in the evening, really not spending time together, it develops some sort of friction. So for Grace and I, we've been married now 7 years this August. We've been mentoring and counseling couples for the last 5 years. And I'd say that has really helped us really navigate through this season because we are aware of what to expect. We know what to do when it comes to having the right kind of conversations. We know what toes not to step on as we are in the same space. Since right now we spend really the 24 hours together.
Thanks so much. Let me hear from Grace as well. How do you avoid stepping on his toes?
I guess the beauty about it is because, one, there's a friendship, so there's a way we got to first know each other and understand each other's temperaments and personalities and know which buttons to press, which ones not to press, and just accommodating one another. Because with different personalities and different upbringings, you have to accommodate one another to find a common ground. So to avoid that friction and all is just understanding what drives this person, what makes this person happy, and how am I contributing to it? What am I doing to avoid causing stress levels in this season, and just creating an environment that produces joy being around one another. And if he understands and we both understand how we interrelate with one another, it becomes a seamless relationship. It doesn't mean we don't get to fight, but we're aware of what is causing the fight and actually having time to sit down and talk about the fight and getting lessons from it.
Edwin, the couples that you've been speaking to in this season, have you seen a change maybe in the number of people who reach out for help?
Yes, indeed. So a lot of them right now are trying to understand. So they got married to this person who they say is their wife, their love of their life. But then they've not really gotten to spend time together. So having basic challenges as handling finances, since right now there's a lot of financial strain. But then knowing at the root of it is just being able to be vulnerable and open in their communication lines, to be able to facilitate any other conversations that come, that including matters to do with financing. So a lot of them are coming up. People are, asking questions of, I don't know who's this person that I'm with right now, totally different person, just because they're getting to spend time with them that they never used to previously.
And so, Grace, just picking up on what Edwin is saying there, you've been married to someone for 5, 6, 7 years, and yet it turns out you actually don't know that person. How is that possible? Yet you live in the same house for these couples that come to seek for that kind of help.
One, it's communicating expectations. So here you are, you have certain expectations of this person that while you are dating, and probably assume that once you're married or in a relationship, that this person will automatically know what you like, what you don't like, what your love language is, what the other person's love language is not. And now that, without that communication, is what creates a rift. So someone thinks, I don't think this is a person I first met. But with any human being, we get to grow, we get to change. So it's in growing in each other and speaking to one another and making the other person understand in my changes, this is now what used to speak to me then is no longer speaking to me now in terms of how you show or communicate love to me. So I've grown in a way that in this season, probably my love language is words of affirmation. I need you to affirm me more in my role as a mother, in a role as a wife. I need to affirm him more in the role as a husband, or probably if he's lost his job, how am I speaking into his life to encouraging him? So it's knowing how to love the other person in the way that speaks love to them, and not feeling that you don't know them at all, but it's in communicating how that love is actually expressed through actions or through words.
And so, Edwin, what have been some of the themes that are emerging from people who need help to strengthen or to rebuild or to rekindle their relationships?
Yeah, so some of the things, just like my wife has mentioned, you find that when someone is working from home, the kind of person they are at work and at home are different. So when they are switching to work mode, there's a certain kind of personality that kicks in. And what you find is when that is carried through the day, there's a bit of tolerance that one can have, either for the spouse or for the children, that would interfere with their workflow that they're used to. So a lot of these changes are coming up, and people are like, there are things that he's doing or that he keeps doing during the day that I don't understand. Just getting to understand what that is, and just really getting to the root of this is the kind of person that he is. This is how he is when he's engaged in work or on such kind of an environment, and this is how this person is from a family perspective. So that's one of the areas that comes up. Other areas are around matters to do with finances. And seeing how do we now readjust, how do we go through the season without really us compromising a lot of the things that we've been experiencing as a family. So now when those conversations come up and people were not really talking before, it becomes like a conversation that you're treading on eggshells. What should you bring up? What should you stop doing? What should you stop having? And a lot of this happens. The other challenge is people are not going really on dates because restaurants have just been opened recently. And just looking at areas and ways of spending time together, even amidst the family. There's their children, and you're with them all the time. So how do you get to spend time with set aside and spend time with your partner so that you continue nurturing the relationship that you have?
Okay. Thanks, Edwin. Jenny, let me come back to you. Let's address the single person as well. This is a difficult season to be trying to find the person you hope can be the one. Yes. Do you have any tips? First of all, what we have to navigate a lot. Everybody is wearing a mask. You have no idea who you're talking to. On Zoom, you don't know whether that's the real person.
It's an we are going back to what we used to call traditional dating. It's no longer a kiss on the first date. It's no longer just, dinner, bed and breakfast. We have moved to the level of wooing. And guess what?
Jen, let me just put you on hold because I think we can't hear you. We just want to fix your microphone for a moment. So Edwin, let me come back to you and Grace. Let's also think of the single person. This is a not a very easy season to date, as we say. And there are challenges.
Yeah, I think it's a great season for single people. Great season for them to really look within and search and identify really who they are and what are they called for as a person to be doing in this world, so that it becomes easier when an individual has done soul searching and know themselves well before getting into a relationship, because challenge comes when you get into a relationship, you don't know yourself very well, then you get lost in the relationship under the shadow of this person. So it's a great time for single people to just do quite a bit of soul searching and getting to know themselves and getting to understand themselves and know the kind of person that they're looking for.
Okay. Just before we continue, now imagine leaving home for either treatment or a visit, and while you're out there, the president announces containment measures in your home county or town. Fatma Bugu visited two families separated from their loved ones due to the restrictions on movement into and out of their home regions.
Amos Mutisia's family welcomes us to their home in Makaburini, Mombasa County. Every smile here masks an underlying sadness. Mutisia's wife and mother to their children, who is battling cancer, is stuck in Nairobi.
Bibi yangu alitoka hapa mwezi wa 3 tarehe 31 kwenda kawaida kama koza ana tent chemotherapy kule Kenyatta Hospital. Lakini safari hii ilikuwa ni tofauti. Alipotoka hapa alifika kule Nairobi. Kufika Nairobi kawaida wanga anaenda kwa ndugu yake. Na akapata pia walikuwa wameenda nyumbani pia nao wakakwamia bara. Kwa hivyo nao wao wako Nyeri, hawezi rudi Nairobi na sisi tuko huku kwa Mombasa na tuwezi ni. Kwa hivyo kabidi yeye abaki Nairobi peke yake.
This kind of situations just make the void more tangible.
Home is not complete without a mother, that's true. So, yani kukaa unaamka mama kwa yuko, it's inauma, but sasa for us inabidi tuzoee.
Mimi mwenyewe najaribu kujaza ile lakini kuna nafasi fulani haiko.
It has been a strange time for all of them, and now they are forced to look after each other to get through it.
Ile role aliacha sana inabidi mimi nichukue. Like duties inafaa iwe ni mimi ndo nafanya, ensure like kila kitu iko kwa nyumba.
Tu akaishiki.
Though challenging, video calls are now their only option.
When we video call her, like, "Mom, we miss you." Yeah, she feels it and she's like, "I wish even me ningekuwa tu na hapo na nyinyi."
The situation is similar to that of this family in Mtwapa Town, Kilifi County. Frederick Mahanu was forced to stay at his friend's house after being caught up in the containment situation.
Kwa nimekuja huku kutembelea rafiki zangu huku na si kuwa najua kama hii kitu ya curfew ya lockdown itakuwa ni kitu serious.
He says that one of his main challenges is being away from his wife, and more so in these uncertain times as the trust is being tested.
Upande wake pia mimi namshuku, manake unaweza kaa huku mbali, mwisho wa siku ukienda kwa nyumba unapata mke wako kwa mjamzito. Unaona mtoto si wako.
His effort to try and cross the barrier has been futile. He hopes to see his family soon, but is among those who have reconciled to the idea they will likely not see their loved ones for many months. Fatma Bugu, NTV, Mombasa County.
Platforms have helped revolutionize personal communication in China, but are also blamed for adding to growing strain on Chinese marriages by making it easier to flirt from a distance. Dai Pengjun, a Shanghai private detective, investigates suspected infidelities and says messaging apps are a common thread in cases. The first reason for the high rates of divorce or cheating is the smartphone, so that everyone can easily build relationships with the opposite sex. This is a major reason, he says. The second reason is the fast pace of life, which leads to stress at work. And besides, social development is also too fast for people and is changing very fast. India's coronavirus lockdown, announced only hours before it went to effect in March, has left some LGBTQ Indians isolated and cohabiting with families who do not accept their identity. One of those affected says, "I'm facing depression being at home because I can't be myself. I'm living with my family who at least acknowledge my existence and my identity as a trans woman, but still the acceptance is not there. They have concerns of the society, they have concerns of the relatives. They also have not completely accepted me as a trans person and allowed me to live my life on my own terms."
facing too much of depression being at home because I can't be myself. I'm living with my family who at least acknowledge my existence of my identity as a trans woman, but still the acceptance is not there. They have concern of the society, they have concern of the relatives, so they have not completely accepted me as a trans person and allowed me to live my life on my own terms. I'm still he, him, his. So that affects me as a person, because if I call you with a pronoun which you don't feel comfortable with, you will also uh, feel humiliated. You will feel embarrassed. So that's how I feel, and that is a very continuous thing which I go through in this lockdown, because 24 hours and every day I'm just at home. My communication is just with my family members. I guess virtually it gives you a sense of freedom, a sense of being yourself. So posting selfies and posting pictures have been my favorite task. I do it when I used to go to work. I used to upload pictures daily. So that has been my daily task, and I miss that.
Okay, so that's the situation out there, but here, back home in Kenya, we've got our blind date couple still trying to navigate their way through a Zoom date. We'll be hearing from them in a minute. But first of all, back to you, Jenny. We're talking about the single person.
Yes.
How do you go about finding your soulmate, especially when everybody is wearing a mask?
Well, I think right now things have slowed down, including dating, because of the social interaction. But what has happened is that a lot of people who don't actually recognize that their colleague at work, their neighbor, or someone that they engage in interacting is a potential. So they have a lot of, online chatting and Zoom calls and phone calls. And as a result, you recognize, wait a minute, Joseph ain't that bad at the end of the day. I really enjoy chatting with him. And so you continue chatting. Now, basically, it doesn't mean that you are isolated and you're not in a relationship. It's been even very interesting for me having people seek my opinion about somebody that they've just been chatting with for the last 2-3 months, and now they are thinking marriage. And I'm like, whoops, you haven't met? Actually, being from the era where you need to touch physically, it's a little much for me to think marriage before you have met. But I now come to the realization that friendship can be established online to a level that can progress to marriage, but there are certain perimeters that have to be observed. Dating sites, oh my goodness, they are going through an explosion, because that's where you log into and to find someone, a potential partner that you can be able to sort of have time with. But the ones that I'm really more concerned about are those ones who had just begun a relationship and the distance is getting into them, and they are wondering, are we in or are we out? Because they had initially engaged in a connection, but right now they're unable to do that and continue chatting.
What do you do about that distance when someone you feel you have an interest in is in, for example, a very different county, if not country?
Yes.
And so how do you resolve that?
It is said that distance makes the heart grow fonder. And so there's nothing wrong with distance. And now we are in the time of technology, where at the click of a button, you'll be able to communicate. And so I think what is very important for anyone that is in that long distance relationship is, number one, clarity of purpose. Are we in this for the long haul? What kind of structure do we want for our relationship? Is it just flirting, or are we looking into committing? I think that needs to be very clear. So clarity of purpose, number one. Number two, how are we going to communicate? And many times when we don't even structure communication at a long distance, you'll be calling me, oh, I'm busy the rest of the day. And then the message that you receive is that I'm no longer interested in you. So you need to structure the time that works for both of you to be able to communicate. And so you need to learn the secret of contentment in this season. Seasons come and seasons go. Are you contented? That is actually the greatest gift that you can give yourself.
Okay. Jenny, thank you. Grace, let me come to you. For again, speaking about the singles territory, with these masks, the first point of attraction is the physical attraction. You see someone smile, but now you're only seeing eyes, and eyes talk, but they don't talk that well, especially when you want to know how a person. That's a big challenge.
It is. I mean, there's a lot you can hide behind that mask. You don't know, someone could be communicating, they're happy and they're not. But I guess it's in meaningful conversations that you get to know someone and understand someone. Otherwise, you may just be passing by each other on the streets and probably you're passing the one that you're looking for. But it's in taking time to grow and know each other, and perhaps social distancing and getting to now have that physical engagement where you can be able to talk to someone and just see the entire body language and emotions, facial expressions, because in all of it, not just words, even how you communicate your body language says a lot about who you are and what you're made of. Yeah.
Now, let's go back to Nations Center to see how our blinded couple is getting along. And I want to speak to the lady. How is it going?
Tuko sawa kabisa, iko poa.
Can you hear me, blinded lady?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, we gave you a bit of space.
Yeah.
How is it going so far?
So far iko poa. Tuna plan, we can take it somewhere.
Oh, it can go somewhere.
Yeah, lakini sasa ana
sasa mshaonana macho kwa macho, sura kwa sura.
Ni sauti tu.
Oh, bado mjafika hapo?
Hatujafika hapo, ni sauti. Hajatuma picha bado, na ngoja. Hajatuma
picha?
Bado.
Sasa si umeenda mbio sana, hajatuma picha alafu unasema let's take it further.
Unajua hiyo sauti ishani bamba.
Sauti imekubamba? Sasa utangoja picha ama sauti inatosha?
I think lakini pia yeye hana mistari kali, but ni sawa, tutajaribu tu. Sasa hatuna option. Hana mistari kali,
okay. Siku hizi jamaa tuko down kidogo. Okay, subiri wacha nimsikilize mwenyewe. Okay, to the gentleman. How is it going?
It's going well. We are also
it's going well.
We're having conversations and also listening to your deliberations about this whole thing. Iko sawa tu.
Oh, you're listening to our tips as well?
Iko mistari zinakuja.
Tunakupa coaching. Okay, bado hujatuma picha?
Bado sijatuma picha.
Okay, let me give you a tip. I don't know whether she's listening. Anasema mistari yako tia bidii kidogo.
Mwanaume ni effort. Niongeze effort.
Okay, mwanaume ni effort. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now,
so hello.
Edwin.
Yeah.
The men our man is struggling there. So I don't know whether the pandemic is helping men to be a lot more romantic in this season.
Yeah, you really have to tap into your best, because right now your presence there, so lazima effort iongezwe kidogo. There's a bit of work that you'll need to do as a man, and just like Mrs. Jennifer Karina had spoken about going back to the traditional way of dating and starting from scratch and having those conversations and getting to know each other. That's where it will all start. So it will not just be about just the physical, just seeing the eyes and saying this is what, or just hearing the voice and deciding. It's really getting to know this person better and just seeing, just beyond that, who is this person that I'm with, and that can only come when you put in a bit more work.
Okay. Now, Jenny, let's talk about if these people are successful. When a relationship is very young and we're still in this season, what are the things that you do in terms of making it quite romantic and quite comfortable? a lot of that has been taken away. We can't go to some, the places. We can go to the movies. You can go dancing. How do you still, inject romance into a young relationship?
First, let me just add on to the mask scenario. The mask that is the physical mask is actually a better mask than the internal mask. A lot of people you meet have masks, so you really never get to know the real person that you're interacting with. People have double personalities. There's somebody with you and another with another person. So I'm not so worried about the physical mask, particularly from statistics. Many men don't look at the face, waist downwards.
Oh, really?
Edwin can tell us a little more about that. So the attraction is usually not here.
Right.
It is elsewhere. Now, when you nail it, what happens is to build intimacy. And to build intimacy is about communication, entering into the core of the person. It's not about how many dates you have. And by the way, there is a lot of saving in terms of money, because we no longer have to buy or talk about, how are we going Dutch? No.
So dating is affordable.
Dating is affordable. We're just going to talk. And in talking, the more vulnerable you allow yourself to be with the other person, the more connection happens. And so you have a chemistry that just takes place as long as you are with the right person. Before you allow your vulnerabilities to kick in, it's important to evaluate what are your values. What values do you ascribe to? The person that you are meeting, are you aligned in your values? And so once that starts to happen, you begin to melt at the phone call, you begin to just feel this person, and intimacy is built without a physical.
I'm just going to come back to that in a moment. I think it's getting hot in here, as you can imagine. Grace, I'll take a quick comment from you just before I go on a break. Any tips for the man in terms of nurturing a young relationship from you?
Yes, one, men know that men are strong. Men don't show emotions. It's been emotional available, and having that emotional intelligence of knowing what makes me happy and what doesn't. So it's in going that extra mile and just showing me who you really are behind the physique that I'm actually seeing. Yeah.
And from Edwin?
For the men, they just need to be open and be vulnerable with the person, because as it's been mentioned, that vulnerability is what will create the intimacy. By being more open, it really draws you together or closer to this person.
Okay, so we will take a short break, but we've got some comments here already from you. Grace Cyrus, you say, I can say relationship-wise, to me and my partner, we've grown stronger with each other, more transparent, more understanding between us. So the bond between us has really grown. On this other part, I'm actually affected because I was to finish up my science course in April, but still waiting for things to happen. And Katie Brown, you say, I'm still single. I have always been a homebody, so my movements and opportunities to meet people haven't changed much. It's just homework and an occasional trip to the store. But on a good note, it has helped me to save more money. That's what Jen was telling us. As I've cut back on unnecessary spending. If my husband comes, that's great. If not, life goes on. Okay. Eric Agishu, you say this COVID-19 brought out the true colors of people. Again, that was what we're discussing in a moment. I'm sure people got to know each other well. For the married, for the single, they got to know their true worth and value. At times, the key to happiness lies within you. Words of wisdom from everybody here. Gibran Makumbi, unasema, I'm married and I've learned to appreciate true physical and emotional support and I'm getting from my spouse each day I arrive from work. It needs a lot of understanding, especially for spouses whose partners are working in the health sector. Another one here from Kimo Nicholas, who says, I'm married, but this pandemic has made it difficult for me to reach my family for months now. This is as a result of the lockdown in some counties. God should have mercy on us so that this pandemic ends. I dearly miss my kids and the love of my life. Pole sana. Charles, you say, good question. You know, single, but there are so many willing to be hooked up due to financial constraints. It's good to wait till things get normal to find a true turtle dove. And Paul Wenena says, I'm single, I'm yearning to get that soulmate this season. It's a great test of perseverance. And then Neema and Joki, you say married, single, or anything you may call. This thing has wrecked the economy and people are suffering. It's only God who can understand the depth of pain. Bright Susan Hatcher says, the key to happiness lies within you. Trying to live in the new normal, it ain't easy. We are coping, married or single. It's time to get to know God more as an individual. And one final here from Anita, you say, I haven't seen that son of man since March and still counting. I never knew I would miss my husband that much. Weh, Leo, Nesh Mwangi, you say, some of us are really enjoying your stories. We're just taking notes from the married and laughing at those whose status turned from dating to single after the COVID-19 outbreak. No, you shouldn't laugh at them. Tell them, Pole. We'll be right. Let's get back to our blind date and the couple at Nation Center trying to find whether they'll find love from one another. So over to you guys. Take it away. We are letting you now have your conversation, see how far you'll go.
Finally. Finally, hi. Tell me something about you.
Something
that you can say on national TV.
I'm a very nice person.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, and I'm very beautiful.
Oh, wow.
So, what else do I have to say now? I don't know what else to say. It's been long since I did this, those weird questions, yes.
Yeah, I know. Also, it's been long for me as well. Maybe let me tell you something about me.
Okay.
I am not beautiful. I am not a nice person.
Wow, okay.
I'm just a person.
All right.
I am just a person.
So did you tell people at home that you were going on a blind date? Sitaki kuchomwa na maji moto.
Niliwaambia.
Uliwaambia?
Na nikatoa gas.
So, ulifanya vizuri.
Nitoa gas. Nikamwaga paraffin, so hakuna maji moto yenye nakam.
Basi hapo tuko sawa.
Yeah. Okay, na wewe uliwaambia?
Mi hata nilisahau kuambiana.
So nafaa nijipange.
So wewe utajipanga. Si wewe ni mwanaume.
So wanaume wanafaa jipange.
Unafaa ujipange.
Alafu si tuwapangie. Okay, as long as that's the agreement. What kind of music do you like listening to?
R&B, old schools. Zile za
old school.
2000 mauko hivyo.
2000, yeah.
Hizi za siku hizi I don't understand anything. Me, I like music that speaks to me, you know.
Unajua vile umesema R&B ya 2000 nisha kudate. So najua sasa age yako.
Okay.
Ukisema R&B old school alafu sema 2000. Nishajua age yako.
So hiyo ndio nini style mnatumia siku hizi?
Bana, unasema what kind of music do you like? Okay. Alafu, you know, these days people want to look cool, so they say, no, sisa siku hizi. Old school. So
wewe unapenda rumba ya 1990 gani?
1944.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I like all type of music.
Okay.
As long as inanibamba, I mean, if I can move to it or be moved by it, iko sawa.
So you can like dance?
I don't know. I don't think so. I can move. Yeah. Kama iko on beat or off beat, I don't know, but I have a good time when listening to music.
Tutajaribu hiyo basi kabla date. Me, I can't dance totally.
Totally?
Yes, that's one of my disadvantages in life.
Wewe ni ule mtu wa kushika tu ka drink ukisema cheers.
Mimi ni wa kuhype watu, mko MC. Hapo sasa twende.
Hapo sawa.
So what are your goals in life? Unajua sasa hizo ndo muhimu. Nikikuuliza mambo ya music.
Tumeenda deep. Si mambo ya kwa shallow.
Mimi nataka sasa kujua
Yeah.
Okay, like first of all, what's your profession? Like unafanya job gani ama wewe ni mse jobless? Tujue kama tunakudampia hapa.
Ni sawa tu, unaweza ni dump. Mimi nimedampiwa mara mingi. But I am a professional blind dater. That's what I do.
Oh, okay. So
no, I'm just kidding. I'm a teacher and I'm a poet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So in fact, I'll be releasing my spoken word very soon.
Okay. About me, yeah?
Yeah?
About me.
About you? Hey, hiyo lazima tuende date kadhaa. Haikuangi tu pap.
Haikuangi tu hivyo.
Hapana, hapo lazima tuende ma date kadhaa.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's what I'm doing there, and my goal in life. Hey, that's also date number 3. Sasa ni hapa juju.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. For me, I'm taking my time. That's my new mantra. I'll take my time.
Sawa.
Na wewe?
That's good. My profession?
Yeah.
I really don't think I don't have a profession per se.
Okay.
Yeah, so tuseme tu mimi ni mtu tu, mimi niko tu.
Uko tu?
Mimi niko tu. Housewife hivi. Potential housewife.
Potential housewife. Okay. Practice.
Kuwa housewife. Hiyo ni kitu inakuja inbuilt. Hata ufai kupractice.
Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Hakuna. First lazima udecide ni house gani unataka kuwa housewife. Yeah, ni two bedroom, ni apartment, ni maisonette. Unajua what is it?
Yeah.
Alafu sawa anza kujipanga. Kama ni nyumba kubwa lazima ukue na cardio. Cardio juu ku take care of a big house.
So unajua hiyo yote inategemea na wewe unaweza afford gani. Hakuna haja nikwambia mansionette alafu wewe umejipanga na bed sitter.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Ni ukweli. But pia wewe unafaa ujue what you want.
Inafaa nijue by the way. Hapo nimeanguka mtihani hapo.
Unafaa ujue. Ndio tujue kama we are just being friends ama you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unaonaje sasa juu story?
How have you fared with the quarantine?
Quarantine has been good.
Yeah. It has been good.
Yeah, me kwangu it has been good. Me, I used to be those people who complain about waking up early. So now I don't have to wake up early now because hata if I wake up I'll just go back to sleep baadaye.
So uko sawa tu?
Mimi niko tu sawa.
I don't like this quarantine.
Why?
I think it has it's just been hard, you know. It's been hard emotionally just to try and figure out your space in life, you know. Yeah. So you have more time. The things that you are ignoring, sasa hawezi zihepa.
Oh, okay.
Unajua sasa ulikuwa hiyo kitu sitaifikiria, sasa ndio unaifikiria. Yeah. Hadi tukapewa soundtrack. Tumeongea deep hadi tukapewa soundtrack.
Oh, tumewekewa soundtrack.
Ka soundtrack hapo, ka trumpet, saxophone. So unaonaje?
Oh my God, I can't believe we are doing this on TV, wa?
Yeah, imagine.
Sasa hata baba yangu akiniona ana expect mahari iletwe.
Lakini sasa wewe ukishasema hutaki kuamka asubuhi.
Wewe unataka mtu kuamka asubuhi aende wapi? Si hiyo ni kazi yako?
3 am. 3 am muamke.
3 am naenda kuchunga mbuzi gani?
Hapana, unajua hiyo ni meditation. You know, honestly, I think there's too much pressure. You know, people think that you're supposed to be this way or that way or this. You know, it's just, you just work it out, isn't it?
True. So what's your ideal wife or girlfriend to you?
My ideal wife or girlfriend?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm still working on my ideal me.
Oh, okay. You've not found yourself?
You know, right now I'm rebuilding myself. Does that make sense?
You're rebuilding, like who broke you up?
No. It's not even who broke me up. It's just that I want to be new, you know. So it's a new time. We definitely need to, we have new challenges. So, I mean, look, we're having a blind date on on live TV.
Yeah.
It's new challenges, so you have to be a new person.
Oh wow, okay. So when
Yeah,
you,
so
you find yourself, you'll just tell us. No.
I tell, oh, who's us? Ebu tell me who's us?
Me and you.
Who is that?
No, we are coming back to TV and tell them that this is what happened.
Oh, okay.
This guy did not find himself.
He didn't find himself?
Yes, so me, I just decided to find someone else who has already
found someone
himself.
else. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, from, yeah, so, you know, from just what I hear, what I can hear is that you're a very confident person.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you have a sense of humor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's good for conversation.
Thank you.
Good for conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good compliment.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, for sure. You know, I can see us having long conversations, though we can't talk about everything on TV.
Yeah.
Ningekuuliza maswali mingi.
Usiniulizie hapa.
Maswali mob.
Hizo zingine to save. Ndio
Hizo zingine
tusikose
to save.
content huko mbele.
Huko. Naelewa. Yeah, for sure. So, what's your ideal date?
Me, just someone who is nice, who is a gentleman.
Yeah. What do you mean, gentleman?
Someone who is respectful.
Okay.
Who doesn't listen to gengeton.
Really? What's wrong with gengeton?
That was just as a by the way. It's
okay.
I like the gengeton myself, so.
Okay,
it's nice.
okay.
Yes. So basically, just someone who is interesting.
Yeah.
Someone who you can present your friends to. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that.
Yeah, I do.
See ule una feature.
I don't know if you can present me to your friends.
So now I have to meet you and then we know if you'll be
if I'm presentable.
If you're presentable, or I have to take you back to, a machine wa kutengeneza hivi.
Yeah. Okay. And what would be your ideal place to go on a date? Other than live television.
I swear, I don't know. Like maybe restaurant tukunyweka cafe hivi.
Yeah.
Maybe kitu kama hiyo tu. Just sasa
mimi ni hapo Uhuru Park.
Hiyo siendi.
Hiyo ya boat, hiyo ya kuenda ya kuro.
Bwana hiyo nimeenda mingi, sasa siendi hiyo.
Hiyo ndio naweza enda kwa sababu you don't have too many people interfering with you.
Yeah,
mko tu hapo.
But mimi
unaweza get coffee yako. Ukae hapo muro tu. Yeah, it's the perfect place.
Hiyo nilienda back then.
Yeah.
Sasa I want something different.
In 2000?
2000 nilikuwa naenda hizo.
R&B za 2000?
Sasa hii siwezi enda hiyo tena.
Who's your favorite artist?
Artist in terms of like comedians or musicians or what?
Whichever. Choose whichever.
Okay. I love Beyonce.
Beyonce, okay.
I love all R&B artists, by the way.
All of them, yeah?
Yes, all of them. And comedians, I love Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart. Do you like comedy, by the way?
I do. I love comedy.
And who's your favorite?
Right now, I don't think I have a favorite, but I listen to naskizanga just different people.
Okay.
Yeah, local, international. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
But I really like Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
We're going to leave the couple for a moment to work things out, and when they come to an agreement, we are offering breakfast and they'll tell us how things have gone. If you've been dating in this season, Zoom dating, WhatsApp dating, technological dating, let us know how that has been. What have been your experiences? But for now, before we continue with our discussion, let's have a bit of setting the mood with a saxophonist in the house. This is Bula, otherwise known as Brian Mugeni. Brian, take it away. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Bula, thank you very much indeed for setting the scene. I understand with a bit of luck, the couple may have reached an agreement or blind date and may soon be joining us. But before then, Jenny, coming back to our season, and especially the comments that we had from people going through a lot of stuff. There's someone there who said they have not seen their husband for a long time due to this. How do you keep the fire burning when you're at a distance?
Well, to keep the fire burning, first you need to have a plan. And the plan is for some people, when they focus on just what is happening, the absence, it gives them negative energy. So the first thing you need to do is infuse yourself with positive energy by doing something you enjoy doing. Your partner is not coming tomorrow. So how do you become positive? Maybe learn a new skill, a saxophone like we just had here. Learn guitar, read a book, begin to write. You've got to do something. Many times individuals sort of focus on what they do not have. And that's a normal tendency. So you've got to go against the grain and recognize it's not business as usual. What do we do? Start writing one another romantic letters. When did you last write a romantic letter? I've got a stack of a case full of all the romantic letters that my boyfriend and now husband ever wrote me. I still have them. Wow. And when I read them, I can't believe the beauty of writing letters. So write emails and find a way of connecting through communication. recommit in the relationship. Let each other know that you're really committed and have a plan. Begin to have a plan. What will we do before the end of the year in terms of your physical, in terms of your spiritual, and also in terms of your finances? So don't just live one day at a time. Have a long-term plan, have a short-term plan, and that is going to help you stay positive. There is no romance without positivity.
Okay.
All right?
Let me come to you, Edwin, as well. Again, in terms of keeping the fire burning, what are your tips?
Yeah, so for keeping the fire burning, especially around this time, is really just like Mrs. Jennifer said, around recommitting to the relationship and setting aside time just for you as a couple. And these times have changed. Right now, you may not go for a date, go to a restaurant and have a meal. But then you can look at other avenues, maybe putting the kids to bed early, where you get to spend a bit more time in the evening together. Maybe doing an activity or a chore in the house together. You could be working, but then you would offer to make dinner with your wife or make lunch. The other thing is do a fun activity. Take a walk together, take a long walk together, and try and find and have conversations, and just making that time is what would really work for couples during this season.
Okay, Edith, thank you. Let me put you on hold for a moment. There is some breaking news. We understand the couple has reached agreement. They now want to reveal their true identity. So we're going to catch this moment. I'll hand over to them, and we'll ask them to switch on your videos now so that you can see who you've been speaking to, and then we can invite you for breakfast. Over to you, couple A and B.
Hey!
Hi.
Hello. Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. You look amazing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. You look amazing as well.
Thank you.
I like the. What do I call this? The headband. The headband.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, what's your name now? Now that I've seen you.
El Safan Jora.
Oh, El Safa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you?
Nasra.
Nasra.
Yes.
Oh, that's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Okay, so now that we know them, Nasra and Jora, you're welcome for breakfast. So please walk over to the restaurant. We are waiting for you, and we want to speak to you about your experience. So karibuni sana kwenye breakfast, and well done that you have finally overcome Zoom, and you are now an item.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Grace, as our couple finds their way here to you, Grace, a lot of what I picked up is communication is so key in a relationship. What does this actually mean? Couples say, but we're communicating, we're talking, but actually they are not. What does communication actually mean in a relationship, whether marriage or just people who are dating?
Communication is where one listens to understand and not listening to respond. Because most of the time when someone is communicating, you're so quick to give them an answer, you're not taking time to actually hear what they're saying and replaying it back to them. So is this what you're trying to tell me? Am I understanding you correctly with what you're trying to say? You see, when I say, I don't think you hear me anymore. And you're like, but I'm always listening to you. That it's a different thing. What are the undertones in that you're not hearing me anymore? Or I'm not feeling heard anymore. So he needs to replay back it's seeking clarity in what that other person has said before responding to what the issue has been brought forth. And that, I feel, is communication, where one says without interrupting what they need to say or put across, and then the other person now clarifies, oh, so is this what you're saying?
For men, they pick up a lot of the non-verbal communication, especially from their spouses, their wives. If you go near the sink and you just see the look on her face, you know which chair you should go and hide under. Or you know what words to say to her. There's also a place for, and it's a skill that we are not taught as men, this non-verbal communication. Sometimes a woman doesn't say anything, but she's saying a lot.
So it's called emotional intelligence. Does he know who he's with? Do you know who I am when I'm upset? Do you see a change in my mood, a change in my tone? And it's in picking up those cues and knowing what conversations to have and what conversations not to have, and seeking clarity in what time is appropriate to set aside to just address what is making me feel uncomfortable or unhappy in that situation. And I feel that that's the thing that Edwin and I have now grown, matured into with time, is knowing that we need to set time to talk and find out from each other. So how's your day been? How are your feelings? What is making you feel happy? What is making you feel sad? How can I be of help? And that way it has helped a lot in how we communicate with one another, because it's so easy to just feel, having admin conversations, feeling that you're communicating and you're really not. Yeah.
And Edwin, from a man's point of view?
From a man's point of view, it's very interesting. You know, the way we are wired as men is that we're quick to give solutions. So anytime, in my previous person, I'll give an example, is Grace would come and tell me something. So quick on my feet, quick on my mind, this is what, I'm just giving her solutions to what needs to be done. But then on the other hand, Grace just wants me just to listen and just hear her out. And the thing is, it's also good for ladies to communicate in terms of, do you need a solution? I just want you to hear me out. And like my wife Grace is saying about picking those cues of, is it a good time to have the conversation or not? Is this the time that you give your solution or not? Or is this the time that you just sit and listen and empathize and sympathize? Yeah.
Okay. To you, Jenny, your thoughts on communication? Because that's why it often begins to go wrong.
Usually, communication often goes wrong because as you're communicating, you are communicating what you do not like in the manner in which they handle you. But if you really want to be a champion in communication, bring it home and say, you know, Joseph, I don't really feel very good when you don't share a cup of tea with me. I'd love it if you can join me in the cup of tea. Always use your own emotions as opposed to what the other person is doing wrong. That sort of just busts it. So the other person goes in defense and they don't want to talk because my wife is very judgmental. My wife is very critical. She's always after me. It doesn't matter what I do. I can never get it right. I hear that all the time. Why? It's because of the attacking as opposed to bring it in on you and say, you know, I would prefer that we handle this in this kind of a manner. Usually, communication is about how we feel. And when you bring feelings into communication, sometimes you lose the person because they don't feel what you feel. But it's important to be factual. Men are very cognitive. It's that they really don't understand what you're feeling. But if you say something that appeals to their intellect, consider it done. It is done. So the secret is just hold on to the emotions, handle them at your own time, and bring them home to be you, but speak out with clarity and intellect about what it is that you would like done. And let me tell you this, men cannot take it when the woman is just crying and very emotional about what you've done to them. Oh my goodness, I have ruined my wife. She's in this state because of me. He won't listen. All he wants at that time is to kiss you, to hold you, to tell you I love you, and you never deal with what the real issues are. And so set a time aside, set a day aside when you deal with matters. Don't be the person that brings domestic every single moment, every single day. Have that day that you deal with what's working, what's not working, and have a sandwich feedback. What's a sandwich feedback? Always begin with what they do well, what they could improve, or what the issues are, and give it a sandwich of you really are very important to me.
No, I'll put you on a short break for a moment as we find out what is happening across with our couple. Okay, so we continue that discussion on dating in the era or in the times of the COVID-19 pandemic. Good news is our blinded couple has made it to the restaurant. Sijui wameelewanaje njiani, but they came in looking really happy. So we've got Nazra Yusuf. If you're a fan of Churchill, you'll have seen her there. She's a popular face, a comedian. And then we've got Safan Njora, who's an artist, and they've made it. Tutasikia baadaye. But before that, let me turn to my guest right here in the studio. This is Magdalene Moirori, who's the general manager of Cafe Delhi. Welcome to your world.
Thank you so much, Joseph.
Now, restaurants have now been allowed to open for longer hours. What has that actually meant for you?
That is a very good thing for us. And we've actually realized that we've started getting revenues, not as much as we were before, but it's something very good. The economy is opening up. We've seen new faces coming into the restaurant at Cafe Delhi, and we are happy. And we are hoping that we can achieve the numbers once again. It's going to be a slow change, but we are going to get there.
And so when I walked in, I noticed that there are no menus on the table. What's that all about?
What we've done at Cafe Delhi, you know, we've taken this thing as an opportunity. So when COVID came in, we had so we've come up with a creative way on how we are going to, how our clients are going to look at the menus. So we've had our menus on the internet. All our menus are on our social media pages, and we have a QR code. So anytime you come into the restaurant, you have to use your phone to access the menu. So you scan it through the QR scanner, and then you'll see all our menus online.
And this is stuff you're not doing before COVID?
Yes, we're not doing before. As I said before, we have to come up with a creative way on how we are going to showcase our menus. Because one thing you've realized in the restaurant industry, it's all about contacts. You keep on touching so many things. And that is what we've been told by the World Health Organizations to avoid. So these are the measures that we are taking at Cafe Delhi. So we keep on changing as we get new information. Now what we are doing, we have the white glove service, the highest quality of service. We keep on sanitizing all our surfaces, disinfecting all our surfaces, all the touch points, because all our clients keep on touching all the surfaces. So we keep on disinfecting after every 30 minutes, after every client leaves, before the other client comes in, we have to disinfect.
And so, but what about what you're offering? Has the menu itself changed in terms of your cuisine or the dishes that you offer?
It has not changed at all. We still have the same menu. All our clients who have been frequenting, you'll still get the same items on the menu. Nothing has changed. What we've done, we've tried to look at the health and safety of all our clients and all our staff. So what has changed in the menu, we're just trying to be more careful on how we are going to present the food, how we are going to prepare the food. So even when you come into the kitchens, we've maintained the 1.5 distance amongst our staff. And that creates a source of that aspect of safety. Yes.
What other steps have you taken in terms of, because people will be concerned about keeping safe and knowing that when they come here they're going to be safe?
What we've done, as I mentioned before, disinfecting all our surfaces, and then at the point of entrance, all our guards will keep on checking the temperature. So we have a way of checking. We have the temperatures, we have the thermometers, we check the temperature. And anytime a guest comes in with a temperature above 37.5, we cannot allow them in, and we advise them to go for medical advice. And then the other thing that we've done, you've seen we've spaced tables. It's 1.5 for every table, and then 1 meter for chairs.
Okay.
So it's sort of, we've incorporated all the measures.
Tell me about your online menu and also your takeaway service. Have you seen a lot more demand for that?
Yes. We remember when the restaurants were closed down from the beginning, we were only allowed to do takeaways. So we had to take our menus online. And then we had to make sure that all our calls are answered within less than 30 seconds, so that we can be able to talk to so many people. So we realized our online presence was very vital, and we had so many people calling and sending messages on our social media platforms. So with that, we did a lot of deliveries during that time, and the numbers have not gone down. So we're still doing takeaways. We've improved on our packaging, and that is the way forward right now. As I said before, we need to be very creative on how we are going to do everything right now, because things are changing. And this is not a challenge, it's an opportunity, and we have to move forward.
So during the time that there was a proper lockdown, maybe people weren't coming into the restaurants, what did you use that opportunity for? Did you have to spruce up the space a little bit? Or did you just lock up?
No, we didn't lock up. We still opened. We operated all the 3 branches. And what we did, we just sort of tried to make sure that our clients will feel safe. So what we did, we continued doing the spacing, we continued doing the cleaning, making sure that hygiene is important for everyone. Yeah, that's basically what we did, and we continued making sure that our online presence is felt.
Okay, and now briefly, when people come in, what should they expect?
First thing you expect at the door, we need to check your temperature. Then the second thing, you wash your hands with soap. We have the washing stations at the entrance and within the restaurants. Okay. And then you'll also expect to find hosts who are going to sit you down. So right now, it's not a matter of where you want to sit. It's how we are going to take. Yes, you'll be directed. Okay. So that's one of the things we've done at Cafe Deli.
Thank you. Magdalene, thank you very much indeed for speaking to us, Magdalene. And I'm looking forward to enjoying more of my breakfast. But first of all, after more than 3 months of closure due to the coronavirus pandemic, England's pubs will be permitted to reopen on July the 4th with certain health and safety guidelines.
In this pub here, the Mossy Well in North London, over the last 6 weeks, we've been using this as a test ground for all our other pubs. So we put a number of different aspects to this pub to be ready for July the 4th. So for example, we have perspex screens around here in between some of the tables. We have very good signage saying entrance here, exit here. We have a hand sanitizer at the front. We have throwaway menus instead of the regular laminated menus. The government has given the go-ahead, and it's important for pub operators, not just us, to say to customers, look at what we've done. We've done everything the government has asked and some more on top, so you can come in to have a safe environment. So yes, we do think that there will be certain pubs where people will be queuing to come in, others they might be a bit more reserved, but overall, yeah, we think it's a very positive move. Kind and perspex here where you are a customer. People have had enough of just being at home eating and drinking. They want to get out, they want to socialise, and as long as we are responsible in the way we run our pubs, and customers are responsible when they come in, there shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, as we wait to connect with our blind date couple, I've got with me here Bula, who has been keeping us really entertained with some fantastic jazz. Bula, how has this season affected you in any way, the COVID-19 season?
I mean, of course, yeah, the season has affected everybody, including musicians. Most of the venues of performances have been closed. People are not wedding, corporate functions are not going on. So yes, it has sort of affected us generally. But a few other things have been going on for me as well. So we thank God for that. I have a music school, Sanyu Music. So I still have some students who are taking music classes and online music classes. So that way I've been able to have a sustainable life, even amidst COVID-19.
Yes. What does this instrument mean to you?
It means a lot. I've been playing this instrument for about 10 years now. Yes, so I'm actually a little over 10 years. But I started playing piano when I was 8. Then I picked this up in 2007. That's so many years later. Yeah, but since I picked it up, I've never really looked back. It's my favorite instrument. I love to play it.
Now, do you miss, because obviously we're still not allowed to congregate in pubs in terms of performances, and as a musician you like to connect with your audience. Do you miss that ambience, the one that you get when you've got a live audience in front of you?
Yes. I do. As a creative, creatives draw energy from crowds, you know. So the moment you stand up on stage and you're looking at people and they're looking back at you, yourself wants to release this creativity on the inside of you. That you cannot do in your bedroom. Yeah, you can create in your bedroom, but a crowd sitting there looking at you draws something out of you. So it gets you to, you know, to bring everything out. Yeah, but basically, I'm a producer as well, so I just produce music at home, man. I just keep making music.
Tell me, compared to other instruments, I mean, the piano, the guitar, the saxophone has got a particular connection with the soul. I mean, when you hear the music from a saxophone, it just takes you into another zone, and I don't know what that is, or what is it about that instrument that brings that that feeling.
Yeah, I've always said the saxophone is pretty much the closest texture of a sound to the human voice. So when somebody sings well, they have a way of touching your spirit. They go straight to your spirit. So can the saxophone for the one that likes it, the one that loves it. It has that same effect, I believe.
I also noticed it has the same effect on you, because when I watch you perform, there are times you close your eyes and you've left this earth. You're in another, I don't know where you go to.
That's how music is. Music is a very spiritual thing.
Yeah.
That's why music has, people can sing and cause rebellion in a country. You know, people can sing and cause happiness.
It goes right into
into your heart. Yeah, it's a very, very spiritual thing. So when I close my eyes, I'm moving into a different dimension at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't close them yet. Could you give me a few notes of maybe a popular tune that you like to play?
There's a song of mine. Let me play your song. It's called Tambulanga City.
Yeah, give us a few notes of that.
It's called Tambulanga City. This is a cover I did a long time ago, in 2013. It's on my first CD. And that CD is online. It's on iTunes and all those platforms, so people can find it there.
Right.
This song is called Tambulanga City. Simply means I walk without fear.
Is that Luganda?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people still spending a lot of time at home have turned to learning musical instruments. Yeah. How easy is it to learn this instrument? Yeah, the saxophone especially.
It's actually dependent on a few things. One, the desire has to be there. You have to have the desire. You have to have the drive, and you have to be willing to commit yourself. Commit a few hours every day, maybe 1 or 2 hours every day. Yeah, by doing that, you grow. Yeah, the challenge with instruments is that they require time. They require time to learn. Yeah, you practice them and practice them and practice them until you're able. But generally, within a year, one would be able to play something.
Now, Bula, our show today is about relationships and dating. How about you? Are you in a relationship, and how's that going?
Yes, I am. I actually have a fiancé, and it's going pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to come with her to the show because she's in Kericho. She was trapped during the lockdown, so she wasn't able to come back.
When was the last time you saw her?
Just about 4 days before the lockdown.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've not met with your fiancé?
Nobody's able to go out of the city. Nobody's able to come into the city.
How do you feel about that?
It's quite honestly, it's not a very good feeling. But we talk. We talk every day. We WhatsApp. We do video calls and everything. Yeah. And my son, biggest to my son Gezi and my fiancée Chebet. I love them very much.
Well, send some regards through your saxophone. It's all yours now.
I think I should play them a song. Should I?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Peebo Bryson.
Okay. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this song is called I celebrate my love for you.
I will just give me a moment.
Okay.
I'll cue you for the song, so that you can send us into that zone. But first of all, cafes and restaurants close at 8 p.m. In Terra's neighborhood of Lisbon, as Portugal, reimposes coronavirus restrictions in and around the city. On Tuesday, the new measures came after official data showed 9,211 new COVID cases detected, notably in the capital and the wider Lisbon region. Francisco Tomas, a Bohemian cafe manager, says closing at 8 o'clock. What's the difference between closing at 6 or at 10? I don't see any difference. The difference is that we lose business. It's going to be very difficult, especially since we don't know how long we'll be here for a week, or is it 1 month? What about the staff? How do they get on by? How do I pay them? It's going to be complicated. Philip Feristas, the cafe manager, says that 35% of the people currently arriving at the hospital are young people who are infected at illegal parties. It's not because of the coffee shops that they are infected. It shouldn't be me paying the bill. It shouldn't be cafes paying the bills. There should be other types of measures or alternatives and not make the coffee shops pay for it. This measure is completely absurd, he says.
Não, já pedi a autorização, preciso de filmar os passos. Depois não. É só o ecrã e isso. Vai exprimir. Edu, até logo. Obrigado.
Tá bem?
Okay, time to finally hear from our blind date couple, Njora and Nazra. Let me start with you, Njora. How was the experience, first of all?
It was lovely. She was very funny, very engaging. That's what you look for in a date. So, yeah, it went well.
Before you saw the image, who did you think is behind the screen?
I didn't try to put any face or any image. I was just waiting to be surprised, and I was. Yeah.
Nazra?
Yeah, maybe I was surprised, but in my mind I knew that he will be a dark guy, with some afro. Yeah. So I'm surprised that it turned out to be Rastas, yeah.
Light-skinned Rasta.
Yeah, light-skinned Rasta. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So were you surprised when video ilipoingia?
Nilikuwa surprised normally when you do the mkiongea na mtu blinded mwenye hamjapatana, and then you hear him on the phone and unasikia sauti ikiwa poa, you automatically know that that guy is not looking good, as in sauti ikiwa mzuri. Sauti ikiwa mzuri.
You just told me sauti yake ilikuwa nzuri, so what were you expecting?
Yes, I was expecting different results, so I'm shocked that sauti yake ni mzuri and it still looks good. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a very roundabout way of saying that.
Of giving me a compliment.
Yes, exactly, yes.
Na wewe ulipokuwa unasikia sauti peke yake?
I mean, I was just listening to hear what person I was talking to, and she was very funny, very engaging. She turns out to be, she's a comedian, yeah, and she's good at her job. I mean, some of the things she was telling me, okay, uko na pesa ama ndio tujue kama tunakudam.
So what can we learn from kuna wase wengi who are doing this kind of Zoom dating? For you, what are the lessons? Maybe it was an Anjora.
I'm a ladies first.
Okay, ladies first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lessons of...
Yeah, when people just meet on Zoom, you know.
Be yourself. Don't change too much. You know, normally, sasa kama sisi mademi nimepaka makeup and I was coming to meet someone mwenye hata niona. Yeah. So that is now going to the extreme. So you just be yourself. And I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
I'd say the same. I'd say just be yourself. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, you can move on, or you can be friends.
Yes.
Ashani kata saizi. But tumesema we are going to be friends. We will work together. Yeah. You know, as long as we are laughing, then the date is okay. Yes. You know, yeah.
That's right. In real life, ushajaribu hii online dating?
Okay, nishajaribu. Most of my relationships actually zilikuwa online. Mimi nilikuwa napenda kuchat na wasee sana, but I didn't like meeting them. So I think this is the first time I'm dating someone online na napatana na yeye.
Why did you want to meet them again?
Sheria za nyumbani, you know, my parents were very strict on meeting boys and kuna curfew hata before corona. So this is the first time. Yeah. Actually, there's a guy I dated for 2 good years online when we've never met. We broke up on the internet.
Met on the internet, broke up on the internet.
My friend.
Sema your heartbreak now.
Ulikuwa na practice for corona.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Njora, have you tried?
No, I haven't. I prefer to meet. I prefer to have face-to-face conversation because there are so many things you can pick up, you know, when you're talking, you know, face-to-face. But with the current situation, I mean, you have to work with what you have.
Yeah. What's the difference? Ukimsikia mtu and you meet them in person, what does Zoom deny you that you get from, you know, in real life?
You know, funny thing, I'd prefer to talk to them first, have a date first, and just listen to them talk. So, because there's no pressure of I need to look this way, you know, it's just sound, and so you're just working with your mind and your sound. So, I'd prefer this way, but then you'd have to meet and, you know, kind of know who this person really is, eventually, because attraction is important.
Nasra, for you, because you're also a performer. Sasa bila live audience, how does that work?
We are really affected.
Live audience.
Like, sisi tumeaffectiwa na corona ile sana. I think since corona yanze, this is the time that maybe I'm showing people my artistry, yani kuonekana kwa TV, kwa screen or something like that. And corona imetu affect in all angles. Yeah. No performing, no shows, no everything. And then now you don't have relationships, peers zimekuwa affected. So at the end of the day, yani corona, I don't know what to say for real. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, na Njora, have you been interrupted? Yes, indeed, pole sana.
Sorry.
And as you can see,
can we get some tissue?
The new normal, hata ukiwa kwenye Zoom, kids surface in the picture. So hata hapa kwa restaurant, you know, waiters will come in and let a drink. Na maisha yanaendelea even though you're live na nini. Njora, have you been impacted by COVID-19 in other ways katika kazi yako?
Both negatively and positively. Negatively is that there are shows to do. There are things series that we were about to shoot and everything was locked down. Positively is that I'm more creative. I've written a spoken word album that's coming out soon. Can I plug it? July 4th. Yeah. So, and I've started shooting because now, you know, you can't work with people as doing so you're shooting yourself, you're editing. So I've learned new things, I've lost a few things, but that's life.
When you say being more creative, what gives you that? Is it the isolation?
I think it's when everything is silenced. You don't have the pressure of that. You have to go somewhere and present myself. I'm in my comfort zone. and just my thoughts. So you just start writing. Yeah.
For me, I think it's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
I've become less creative now.
Yeah.
Because, you know, as a comedian, most of your jokes, you really want to present them to the audience. You get 5 good jokes, you want to present them, you finish up with those ones, and then you get another one. So
but you don't think that there's so much material right now? Or like how the politicians are dealing with it, how you are dealing with it, how these are dealing with it. There's so much material for comedy.
So much material. But you realize by the time the live audience will be coming, those materials will have been zimepitwa na time. You get?
Yeah.
So it will not kill people like the way I expected them to.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, thank you very much indeed, Njora and Nazra. We hope kwamba things will open up quite soon for Nazra to get back on stage. Mashabik bila shaka wana miss. Njora, we look forward to your spoken word album when it's out next month. Otherwise, thank you guys for being with us and for playing along with the blind date. Sasa mnaruhusiwa either kuwa pamoja ama kuachana. It's entirely up to you. You're all above 18 na mko kitambulisho. We'll take a short break now. We'll be right back with Your World.